I never felt threatened. I know others really have, and people that associated with our work had times that they had to struggle with what they had encountered.
Robert Bigelow, a successful real estate magnate and founder of Bigelow Aerospace, has long been a significant figure in the realm of mysterious aircraft research. His deep-seated interest in unidentified objects and the possibility of advanced life has led to significant contributions in the field, meriting a closer look at his efforts and their impacts. Born in 1945, Bigelow's interest in mysterious aircrafts was reportedly sparked by his grandparents' personal encounter with a strange object near Las Vegas. This early familial experience ignited a lifelong interest that would persist alongside his entrepreneurial pursuits. As his wealth grew from his real estate ventures, so too did his ability to fund his curiosity. In 1995, Bigelow established the National Institute for Discovery Science, a research organization focused on studying various science and paranormal topics, including mysterious aircrafts. The National Institute for Discovery Science became known for its investigations into cattle explorations and Black Triangle sightings, along with its study of the enigmatic Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. The latter property, purported to be a hotbed of paranormal activity, was purchased by Bigelow himself, highlighting his personal commitment to investigating these phenomena. Bigelow's influence extended beyond the National Institute for Discovery Science. In 2007, his funding and connections with US Senator Harry Reid led to the creation of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program. Although the program was officially focused on aerospace threats, a significant portion of its undisclosed budget was reportedly allocated to researching mysterious flying aircrafts. One of Bigelow's most significant contributions to this research is his approach to legitimizing the field. His use of his personal wealth to fund serious research into mysterious aircrafts and related phenomena helped bridge the gap between amateur research and mainstream acceptance. His work has played a role in lessening the stigma associated with this research, aiding the recent shift in public and government perception of the issue. He recently came forward and said that these machines do exist, but noted that the problem has been the inability to back-engineer them, and said that he thinks a weightless environment is needed. He said that he's convinced that there is an existing presence. NASA has formed a collaboration with Robert Bigelow, and in the previous year, they conducted a significant test together to validate the readiness of his advanced technology for accommodating human presence in outer space. During an interview with 60 Minutes, Bigelow revealed his fascination with advanced beings, which can be traced back to a significant event involving his grandparents near Las Vegas. According to Bigelow, they had a first-hand experience with a mysterious aircraft, which rapidly approached them, ultimately occupying the entire view through their car's windshield. Astonishingly, the unidentified object abruptly changed direction and swiftly vanished into the far-off horizon. Even though the creator of Bigelow Aerospace is confident that humans will venture away from Earth, they are also of the belief that advanced beings are heading towards us. In a recent interview, he mentioned the existence of a presence. This statement, originating from a prominent figure in the lucrative space industry, caused some surprise. However, this reaction should not be unexpected. Survey results over the past few decades have consistently shown that approximately 1/3 of the population shares Bigelow's belief. These individuals firmly believe that advanced beings from other star systems are actively observing our planet, sometimes making their presence known through incidents such as crash landings in the New Mexico desert or displaying unnervingly close encounters with our missile silos. Approximately 10,000 sightings are documented annually in the United States, and although the majority of these can be explained as things like planes, helicopters, and natural phenomena, there are some that have remained a mystery. Unidentified objects have intrigued humanity for centuries. Despite advancements in science and technology, many sightings have remained unexplained, adding to the air of mystery and intrigue that surrounds this phenomenon. These unsolved cases exemplify the challenges in this type of research. The phenomenon's unpredictable and transient nature often leaves investigators with little evidence beyond eyewitness testimony and occasional radar or video footage. The stigmatization of sightings also complicates matters, as potential witnesses may hesitate to come forward. In recent years, the scientific community and the US government have shown renewed interest in these mysterious aircrafts, and this caused the US Department of Defense to establish the UAP Task Force in 2020. While often associated with the exploration of space and scientific discovery, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration has not been traditionally involved in the investigation of unidentified objects. However, in light of recent shifts in societal and governmental attitudes towards the phenomenon, NASA has indicated a growing interest in these investigations. NASA's primary focus lies in space exploration, scientific discovery, and technological innovation. Its missions have historically revolved around understanding the cosmos, our planet, and the potential for life beyond Earth. As a science-driven agency, NASA has typically remained distant from the discourse, which often falls under the purview of the Department of Defense due to national security implications. However, in 2021, following the US government's acknowledgement of several military encounters with UAPs and the release of a report by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, NASA showed a renewed interest in the topic. The Office of the Director of National Intelligence report confirmed the existence of 144 sightings by government personnel between 2004 and 2021 that remained unexplained, sparking widespread attention. Under the leadership of NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, appointed in 2021, the space agency has taken a more proactive approach towards UAPs. Nelson, a former astronaut and US Senator, has expressed his personal interest in UAPs and indicated that scientists at NASA would be investigating these phenomena. The focus of their research would involve analyzing data from satellites and other relevant scientific data to help unravel the mysteries surrounding these unexplained aerial encounters. However, it's essential to understand the scope and limitations of NASA's investigations. Given that NASA is a civilian space exploration agency, its research is likely to focus on interpreting data through the lens of known physical and atmospheric phenomena. The agency does not possess the authority or infrastructure to actively track or investigate UAPs in the same way as the military or intelligence agencies. For instance, NASA can use its scientific expertise and resources, such as advanced telescopes and satellite data, to rule out natural atmospheric phenomena or misidentified man-made objects. They can study patterns in reported sightings, cross-referencing them with astronomical or meteorological events. Yet they are not equipped to engage in real-time monitoring of airspace or respond to immediate sightings. As of right now, while NASA's involvement in investigations is not traditional or extensive, the agency's recent shift in attitude is notable. By applying its scientific expertise and resources to the data on UAPs, NASA can potentially contribute to our understanding of these phenomena. This shift not only reflects the changing societal and governmental attitudes towards mysterious aircrafts, but also underscores the interdisciplinary and collaborative approach required in this investigation.
And you know these people too. And so, but I personally never felt that way. I felt a different kind of connection. And so, like with the Skinwalker Ranch, I felt like I was a caretaker. I was a facilitating, hosting people, to certain kinds of folks to come to the property. Government people to come to the property, and scientists to come there and do things, but I was a facilitator is all. And never threatened. I had a great night's sleep every single time, and some other people did too, you know. There's an aspect though to this survival work. It's a bit different. And there's a piece of it that, and if people bother to read the literature, if you bother to go into the books and really try to find quality material, and it's out there by the hundreds of books, by quality authors, you'll come across publications that after a while you'll start to get a consensus because of multiple sources coming at you, and you'll start to get a consensus of a feeling of things. And so it does have this aspect of things to be concerned about. And you know, I've told you that since we formed this institute in June, all of a sudden we had people around us that started having things happen, and not all of it was rosy. Okay, so I mean, this is family members, myself, my staff, and none of this we expected. None of we hadn't asked for anything, positioned anything, decided to do any of this kind of research. Our whole intention to begin with was simply trying to get ourselves up to speed in the literature. Excuse me. After being away from this for so many years, focusing on a space world, right? That's been mainly what I've been doing, except for the Skinwalker Ranch thing for 20 years. Is the space world has been huge in my life to pursue. The legitimate parochial kind of, you know, using fire engines, rockets to get you there. So we didn't expect anything like this to happen, and so this Holy Grail is different than the second Holy Grail. If the second one being the ET is a little bit lower, and this first one, is there any part of your consciousness that survives your bodily death? That's a big deal. That's a huge story. That's gigantic.
Like I said, people don't want to think about it or talk about it in general because they don't want to think about dying or
That's right.
contemplate that.
Yeah, who does?
There's no getting around it. But if the project that we're about to discuss, if it is successful, if you could establish contact, if you could prove it, it could be a great benefit to everyone. I mean,
well, you have to be, you know, a little careful about what you wish for. So, on the face of it, communication sounds great. And that, by the way, that has been tried forever, ever since the Oracle of Delphi. I mean, you can go back thousands of years and that's been attempted. So it's not now these, you know, the last 100 years through electronics and using some kind of electrical apparatus to try to have some kind of communications. And you know, communication can be at all different kinds of levels. There might be a communication that just causes you an awareness that there is something else there that is acting upon something. So you're not getting any kind of message other than I'm acting upon something. You know, it might just be you know, that, as they say, I'm not a robot type of thing, and we've heard that. So
we'll divert a little bit, then we'll come back to the VIX and the consciousness mission. So you're diving into consciousness. You're reaching out to try to figure out if communication is possible, or is there somebody on the other side?
Right.
And then you dive into UFOs in a big way for a number of years. I know in 1989 we produced a series that was our first contact. After that aired and the whole Lazar story came out.
Right.
Was that a trigger point for you, or you were already diving into UFOs with the same vigor and enthusiasm?
I had committed myself before that to investigate, and one of the things I started off was reading, trying to get myself up to speed. I read a book a week for a year, just so I could talk the talk and understand if people were talking about cases in Colombia or in Argentina or in California or wherever. I knew the basics about a whole lot of observations, encounters, and witnesses stories and events and crash retrieval incidences or trace cases or whatever. And so it's just so that I understood what people were talking about, right? So you have to go through the literature first and put the effort into reading and just not go off half-cocked. And so I'm still in this mode here in the survival work and still trying to read in spare time and trying to network with people, you know, that commune with other folks. And like yourself, you know, George, you're an amazing journalist in what you know and all that you've made it your job to get into and investigate. And so I'm kind of doing that too, because I look at myself as a researcher and maybe a facilitator if I can help in any way to try to help people find answers and all of us kind of collaborating together.